Let's talk about my finished knitted projects. Hello everyone, Rochelle here, and I'm back to talk about some yarn goodness with you all today. Okay, so let's jump right in. I want to talk to you all about my Rehat Sweater and my Sophie Scarf. We're going to start with the Rehat Sweater first, and it is designed by Bash Harry, aka The Harry Knit on YouTube, and I will leave her YouTube handle below as well as the Ravelry link for this sweater. So this is a test knit. I had the privilege of being in the test knit group and it was wonderful. So I actually finished this sweater in February of this year. But the pattern was just released this April. And so when I talk about patterns, I don't really like to talk about them until it has been released. And that way you all can just head over to the pattern link and, purchase a pattern if you want to. So I kind of like for it to already be done. Okay, so a little bit more about this pattern. It is a paid for a pattern and it is designed to be oversized and slightly cropped. The sweater is designed to be slightly sheer and airy. Riha comes from the Arabic word raha, which means to rest in Bahasa Malayu. It is a word that reminds you to take a breath, take a break, and take some time for yourself, which is something we all should be doing anyway. Sometimes you just gotta take a breather, relax, enjoy yourself, and I think this is something that we all can incorporate into our lives. Now, the bust circumference for this pattern is between 28 to 62 inches, and that is 71 to 158 centimeters. I knit the size 5, and it is intended to be cropped, boxy, and oversized. And the ease for that is 12 to 14 inches, which is 30 to 35 centimeters. And so that's going to give you that nice boxy loose fit. So the yarn that I'm using is by Yarn Bee. It is the Soft and Sleek. I believe it's the soft, it's just the regular Soft and Sleek. And the colorway is called Hot Pink 650. And this is a 100% low pill acrylic yarn. And it is fantastic yarn. It's definitely one of my favorite types of acrylic yarn. And so I used a couple of needle sizes for this sweater. I used a US 11, which is a 8 millimeter, and I used that for the applied I-cord, and which was an applied I-cord bind off for the neck, the sleeves, and the body. And I used a US 15, which is a 10 millimeter for the body. So definitely some larger sizes. So that was really fun. All right, so in terms of making this pattern, it's really good for beginners or advanced beginners. And really the only skills that you will need is the long tail cast on, knitting in the round, stockinette stitch, bind off, I-cord edge, and a single crochet stitch. Now you may be wondering, where does the crochet come in at? That is optional, and I'm going to get to that in just a second. So I was good and I knitted a swatch and I got gauge on the US 15, which is the 10 millimeter knitting needle. So I was really happy that I got gauge, and that definitely gave me more confidence before starting this project. And so this was my very first time doing an applied I-cord bind off. I really enjoyed it. I've done projects like the Sophie Scarf where you're doing the bind off or you're doing the I-cord like as a part of the row, but I've never actually done it as a bind off before. So that was really cool. I really enjoyed it, and it was a new skill. I love learning new skills when it comes to projects or patterns, and so that was really fun. And I did the applied I-cord for the neckline, the sleeves, and the hem. And also, here's where the crochet comes in. You have 3 finishing options for this sweater. And so you can do the apply I-cord, which you see here. And you can also do a single crochet stitch. So for example, basically all of this is to keep the hem from rolling. So if you don't feel comfortable doing an I-cord bind off, you can do a single crochet stitch. Or you can simply leave it as a rolled hem. Some people like that look of a rolled hem, and you might just want to leave it as that. But the single crochet stitch or the I-cord bind off will be really good options if you don't want the rolled hem on the sleeves, the neckline, and the bottom hem. Okay, so also this project is work from the top down, which was amazing because that means that I got to try it on. And I love trying this on and seeing just the process of it all and just seeing like if it was going to fit and all of that good stuff, if I needed to adjust the sleeves or, you know, the neckline or whatever. And so it was really, really good to be able to try this on along the way. And so I did want to tell you just a few things that I changed about the pattern. So the first thing that I did was that I added 2 inches to the body. And, you know, I approved all of this, you know, before I did it, because testing it, you want to kind of, you know, keep up and give feedback and things like that. But anyway, I really didn't want a super cropped fit because even like when I made it to the size that was intended, it was way too high up, way too high up. And so even after adding 2 inches to the body, it still has that cropped fit. So I really like that. Also, the second thing that I did differently was actually an accident. So I used a US 13 instead of a US 11. It was by accident, but when it came to doing the I-cord, the applied I-cord bind off, I don't know, I picked up an 11 instead of, I picked up a 13 instead of an 11. So I still love the way that it looks. The only difference it would have made is that the sleeve here at the end would have come in just a little bit more. That's really the only difference. So where I did the apply I-cord bind off, if I had have used the 11 as it was called for, yeah, the sleeves would have come in a little bit more, maybe even the neckline and the hem. But honestly, I like it this way. And so, you know, just to let you know, it's actually requiring a US 11 for the bind off. But I used a 13 and it came out just fine. So yeah, those were the only things that I changed. Now, let's talk about blocking. So I did wet block this and I put it in the dryer to dry because it is 100% acrylic. And so it did great in the dryer. It took 30 minutes to dry. And I did check the dryer every 15 minutes just to make sure that, you know, nothing crazy is going on. And really, like, after blocking it, I think because it was acrylic, like it didn't grow any, but it really relaxed the stitches. And so I really like that. Blocking is amazing because it really it relaxes your project. The stitches become a little bit more defined. You know, it just kind of gives the sweater a chance to work itself out. And I love that about blocking. And so, of course, I am giving an honest review of this pattern. And the pattern itself is fantastic. But there are some things I did not like about it. And I think it has to do with me and my own self-confidence and self-body image. It has nothing to do, it has nothing to do with the pattern. It's on me. So here's the thing, y'all. I have wide shoulders, really wide shoulders. And because of that, I mainly stick to like set-in sleeves and raglans. This is a drop shoulder construction. And I don't know, y'all, I feel like my back looks so wide in this sweater. Okay, like so wide. And it could be just me. It could be just me. Yeah, it's probably just me, but I don't know. Will that stop me from making drop shoulder garments? Probably not. I'm probably just tripping, but I just feel like it makes my back look wide, okay? And this is gonna be bad. But I feel like I look like Gru from Despicable Me. Oh my god. Okay. That is not being very positive. We're trying to be body positive here on this channel, and I'm not doing a good job of that. But anyway, I'm still gonna wear this. I'm still gonna wear this. I have some nice high-waisted pants that I'm gonna be wearing along with it. So yeah. And another thing too is because it was such a large gauge, I did have some underarm holes that I had to bring in. Once again, that's on me. That's not the pattern. I just need to learn how to do a better job of fixing those underarm stitches. And I'm trying to remember who it was. I think it was Charity from Knit Girl Magic that's gave me advice about, oh dear, was it Julian from Remedy Fibers? Oh dear, I can't remember which one, but one of you two ladies told me that underarm holes are inevitable. And basically what I needed to do was, it's kind of like you can stitch around the hole and then pull it tight, and that'll bring in the hole. So whoever gave me that advice, thank you. It worked. My underarm holes look good. And of course, because it has such a large gauge, there's going to be holes anyway, but my holes were like huge. So yeah, that's what it's looking like under the arms. And I think that, this is expected with such a large gauge. All right, so it took me 28 days to make this sweater. So it is a quick one, y'all. It is a super quick project. It was challenging, but it was fun to knit. And one thing I really like about Bash, the designer, is that she listens to feedback, because I'm trying to think, this might be her first garment pattern. No. The Awan vest was her first, but this, I believe, is her first sweater. But anyway, there were times where we had to make changes with different things, and we would present those changes or our suggestions to her, and she would, write back. She would make changes. She would make revisions, and it was just wonderful. She is such a wonderful person to test knit for. And also the test group was really fun. She ran it through Instagram. And yeah, it was a lot of really fun people in that group. And I was looking at the final pattern, and I looked at her post that she put on Instagram when she released it, and she put pictures of the test knit group people in there. So if you want to check out her Instagram, you can see pictures of all the different testers and how this sweater looks on different bodies. And yeah, she's fantastic. And so, as I mentioned, the pattern has been released, and I will leave all of the information about it below.
Honey bunny, why are you walking away? Baby, lost your tongue somewhere, don't know what to say. Stop and run around, oh, you act like a
All
kid.
right. Let's talk about the matching Sophie Scarf. And the Sophie Scarf is designed by Petite Knit. Okay, so I have knitted probably 4 of these, but they've all been like the small size. This time around, I knitted the large size. So this is a paid for pattern, and it calls for DK weight yarn, but of course I used this worsted yarn, and it turned out just wonderful. I love it. Now, the size choices for the Sophie Scarf is small and large, and as I mentioned, I made the large, but I've made the small, and it requires very little bit of yarn. So if you have some scrap yarn lying around, this scarf would be perfect for your scrap yarn and your leftovers. And so the yarn that I use is the same yarn as the sweater, Yarn Bee Soft and Slick, in the hot pink colorway, 100% low pill acrylic. And I think having low pill acrylic is really good for something that you're going to be wearing around your neck, and it's going to be kind of like rubbing your clothes perhaps. And so I think this will be absolutely a wonderful yarn to work with. So I was able to knit the entire scarf in one skein of yarn. Each skein is 232 yards, and that is 212.1 meters. And that was all I used for this scarf. And so the needle size that I used was a US 7, which is a 4.5 millimeter knitting needle. And so I did put in a lifeline because I don't trust myself when it comes to knitting. So I need lifelines and I need stitch markers, okay? And so I placed a stitch marker at each increase and decrease. And so that really helped me to keep up with my rows and my stitches and things like that. And also, just in case I ran out of yarn during the process, I could basically okay, so I'm making the large version, and if I put in a lifeline, if I run out of yarn, my plan was to rip the yarn back to the small version size, or the small version number of stitches, and just complete the small version. But I ended up not having to do that, so it worked out really, really, really well. And I wet blocked this as well. And so I wet blocked it. I put it in the dryer. I blocked it the same way with the sweater. And like I said, because it's 100% acrylic, it did so great in the dryer. And yeah, it took 30 minutes to dry. I checked every 15 minutes. And so it really didn't get any bigger or anything like that post blocking, but it did relax the stitches. And the yarn is already super soft, but y'all, after wetting this and then putting it in the dryer, oh, it is so soft. This scarf is just so soft. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. It's wonderful, and it's just really cozy. It's a really cozy scarf, and it's not overpowering, especially to be worsted weight yarn, because the pattern isn't written for worsted weight yarn. But I went on Ravelry and I looked at some of the projects that other people had made, and there were a few that had used worsted weight yarn, and so I felt pretty good about it going into it. And so I wanted to give you all the measurements. So this is 56 inches long, and it is 8 inches at its widest point. And I feel like the more I wear it, I don't think it's going to stretch out any, but when I measured it, it was kind of like somewhere between 56 57 inches long, and so far it hasn't stretched, so it's a nice size, and I really like it because you can wrap it around several times. And yeah, I mean, there's so many different ways to wear this. And y'all, best of all, I cannot wait to wear this scarf with my matching Rehat sweater.
Isn't it funny? We came to that. I thought I won you over, but you were holding back. Isn't it funny? You could not care less. How you took those words back, now I'm just a mess. I'm running away from escaping dreams of yesterday. Convincing me this cannot be. Trying to find another way. Yeah, I think my head always knew it, but I didn't tell my heart. Let go, I couldn't do it without falling apart. So give me something now.
Let me know if you are interested in knitting any of these patterns, or maybe you've already knitted, maybe you were in the test group, or maybe you've knitted a Sophie scarf before. Definitely let me know, and let me know what you worked on while watching, or did you just chill? I always love reading you all's comments. And yeah, so speaking of comments, check out my YouTube community tab. I ask a lot of fun questions over there, and I love interacting with you all. And I just wanted to thank you for clicking that like button and clicking that subscribe button. I'm really trying to get to 10,000 subscribers this year, and I just appreciate you all for hitting that subscribe button and watching my videos. I really, really do appreciate it. And yeah, if you are interested in getting bonus content, bonus videos, at least one extra vlog per month, check out my membership. You can simply click the join button below and you will get access. Of course, depending on the level, you will get access to our private Facebook group, and you will receive one extra vlog per month, and you'll have access to a private YouTube community tab. And so if you're interested, definitely check it out. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time, bye.